Gideon have one done today. God is good and God is good all the time. My name is Sarah J. Spirit Divine. I'm here to give y'all continue on what we talking about. We are talking about these two kings that Gelon had to pursue. You know, Zebra and Zephaniah. You know, so these are the two kings that Gedaliah took personal to try to hunt down. You know, so when he did hunt them down, you know, he asked them the question, you know, who did you kill? And it won't be sarcastic, but I killed an ordinary man, you know, a man just like you, you know. So then Gedaliah replied back, you know, the men that you killed were my brothers from my own mother. You know, so that's what I want to talk to you about, or why he stated that there was his brothers from his own mother. You know, so we have noticed how Gelon identified, you know, those dead men as his brothers. You know, they are, you know, so my brothers, the sons of my own mother. You know, because sometimes you be in a household, you have so many siblings, you know, so many brothers and sisters, and they be from your father, you know, but they all have different mothers, you know, or sometimes you'll have everyone from the same mother and from different fathers. But in this case, we see that all his brothers is from the same father. You know, he says his father had multiple wives, you know, but they're from different mothers. So he had to identify that these brothers here that you killed were from my own mother, you know. So he had identified that. So Gelon specified the brothers with the same father but different mother. So that's why he identified that to these two kings, you know, to let them know, you know, I'm taking this person, you know, because that was my brother from my own mother. You know, you're gonna take it kind of hard, because when your siblings from your own, he took it hard from his own mother. You know, he have a whole lot of brothers, but he killed the specific ones that were from his mother. Now God initiated marriage. You know, way back from Adam and Eve. With Adam and Eve, it was a woman and it was a man. You know, now God initiated that man, Adam, to marry Eve. He did not tell Adam, you know, to get multiple wives. He told Adam and Eve to go multiply children from their self. No, not go take multiple wives. You know, so we don't know. You know, everything is all in their own way these days. You know, but a man to have one wife. You know, but we see down the line, men have taken on multiple wives. You know, and down the line they cause confusion. You know, with the children, when this happened like this now, this case, you know, they will have to specify, you know, their brothers, you know, whom came from who, you know, so they're from their own mothers. That's why he had to specify. So that's what this case is, you know. So Gelon's father has several wives, you know, and Gelon himself, you know, had many wives, you know. At that moment, they don't realize it have confusion, you know, because a lot of time all of them can have the same mother, you know, but some of them can have different dads, and you're in the same household, and different dads come to bring gifts, but not to everyone, just for who that child for. So you have to think about sometimes it will affect the kids, you know, and then a lot of down the line will get along. He had to specify that these brothers are from my own mother, you know. So back then Jesus taught on marriage. He taught on marriage in Matthew's the most. He taught on marriage, you know, to underscore the benefit of marriage, you know, of one man and one woman, you know, for life. Really, marriage is supposed to be for life, you know, but a lot of us, and we end up in divorce. You know, so what we see is that it don't work out. A lot of us end up in divorce, you know. So Paul urged, you know, Timothy and Titus, you know, to choose a leader. They had to choose a leader. But guess what? The leader had to have only one wife, you know, because, you know, a lot of them in his Bible, you know, a lot of them have multiple wives. You know, even David, he had multiple wives. So supporting God first and best chose for marriage. So a lot of time we supposed to choose a good marriage when we love and support God. And we love God. We love God so much, like we say, we supposed to pick that man. They're gonna treat us like God treat us. But a lot of time we see that it don't never work out. So a lot of us end up in divorce because we're not picking the right one. So now we see the statement of the brothers from my own mother. Because when I first read it, I mean, and why he specified it like that, So now we see why he specified it that way. So Gideon had turned to Jeter, that's his oldest son, and he said kill him. His son, his son with him. Why he had the two king captured. He was like kill him, But then his son did not draw his sword because he was only a boy, and he was afraid. But he wasn't afraid to just speak out his mouth, kill him. So these two kings, now, this boy telling his father, go ahead on and kill him. So now these two kings wants to be sarcastic, mocking him, So you want us dead, won't you do it yourself? Won't you do it yourself? So as is the man, so is his strength. So that's what they're trying to tell this little boy. Trying to talk sarcastic, to this little boy. So Gideon has stepped forward, while he talking to this man's son. He stepped forward, he killed him. He took the garment off their camels' neck, and Gideon had got victory over these two kings. So you gonna talk about this man, talk to this man child like that? No, he's standing right there. So I guess he got tired of him being sarcastic, so he stepped forward and killed him. For a king to be killed by a boy, it looked as though he was no match for this boy. So that's why it didn't really not supposed to have a boy to kill him. We see David. David killed the giant. He didn't kill a human being. So these two men, they wanted to avoid that disgrace. They didn't want Gideon to do it. They knew Gideon would have put it to him. They wanted the boy to do it. That's why they kept saying, you do it yourself. As well as a slow pain. They wanted slow pain. Because they feel like the boy wouldn't have had enough strength to really put it to him the way his father would have put it to him. So which is an unexperienced sword. They feel like he was going to be unexperienced. There would have been slower pain. That's why they kept on saying, you do it yourself. Even though it would have been embarrassed for them, for a boy to kill him, but they was willing to take their chance of being embarrassed than to be killed at that moment. It would have been a slow pain because he felt the boy wouldn't have had enough strength to kill him. So that's why they were being sarcastic to this boy. They knew if the boy killed him, they knew they would, if the boy killed him, they knew they was gonna be embarrassed. But it didn't matter. They was worrying about the less pain. So coming from a boy. So a boy wouldn't have had enough power or strength to receive what his father would have did to them. So Gideon stepped forward and did the job and killed both kings, who had killed his brother, and he received victory over those two kings. So that was the story on these two kings that Gideon had took it personally because they killed his brothers that were from his own mother. And he killed his own. But then these two kings flee, and he flee behind, and they didn't realize that they went so far and didn't realize Gideon was gonna follow them. And he went behind the scene, and then came, and he was an unexpected army that captured these two kings. So he wanted them alive first, so he could question them why you killed my brothers, So he took this case personal, and that's why he got so irritated when these two kings, the other two kings, didn't want help him and give his soldiers, his troops, no food. A lot of times you when you angry and you trying to look for something and do this and that, he was trying to hunt these two kings down. And so he was irritated. They didn't want to help him. So we also talk about this red flag law and ERPO. Both policy will help save lives if they know someone that have mental health but they're in the possession of a gun. They can get a court order to have these guns removed from this person before they do danger to someone or either danger to themselves. So we also talk about common sense gun law. And I had named some stuff that's under common sense law that also it can be tightened up on these rules. So it won't be so easy for another person a gun to be harming someone. So the age went up to 20 years old to purchase a gun. Enforce a criminal background check for mental health. We're gonna check if they have a criminal charge. We're gonna check if they're ever involved in a gun trafficking. So we also talk about the gun storage law, because we've been having lately children finding a gun at home, bringing it to school, and either teenagers find it and shoot somebody out in the street. So all this gonna be under a common sense gun law. A policy that we need to tighten up so it won't be so easy for them to be purchasing guns in the store. And we need the stores to start following these procedures also and stop selling guns to ages under 18 years old. The new policy gonna be they have to be 20 years old. We're trying to stop all these massive killing and killing in the school, because a lot of them is 18 years old and under is carrying these guns. So we also talk about the story of the two kings. Gideon is a person that was appointed by God. God has sent him to help the Israelites. So God sent him on a mission, but also this mission, also he is a personal to him, because the two kings had killed his brothers. So that's all I have for you today. Y'all have a blessed day, and I'll see y'all on the next video.